In management, we're about ready to go live. One time I used to count, and I just wait till we go live on the screen. No, I don't have to count. Okay, good afternoon, members of council, members of management team, a special guest in our public gallery today. Welcome. It is 12:06 p.m. on a beautiful day, September 12th, in Stephenville, Newfoundland. I would ask the member of council that we approve the agenda as circulated.
And now,
Or that'd be second. Good. Just approve the agenda, call to order.
so moved.
Moved by Councillor Tom O'Brien, second.
Second.
Councillor Maurice Hines, all in favor?
Aye.
I'd also like to welcome, we have 16 attendees now attending via electronic media. Welcome to our public meeting of the great town of Stephenville, Newfoundland, because we never know where somebody's logging in from. A lot of places on this planet. Really. Anyways, item number 2 is we respectfully acknowledge the town of Stephenville as the ancestral homeland of different populations of indigenous people. We also acknowledge with respect the rich histories and cultures of the Beothuk, the Mi'kmaq, Innu, and Inuit of the province of Newfoundland and Labrador. Okay, now we're going to get to the agenda. Item number 3, approval of the agenda as circulated and presented in front of us today. Member of council move.
We just done that.
We did call the order.
Okay.
Item 1.
The approval of the agenda is on mine, it says for September the 11th.
Oh, typo. Thanks for picking up that. Noted. Okay, can I get somebody to move?
In that case, I'll move.
Okay, Councillor Maurice Hines, second Councillor Myra White, all in favor?
Aye.
Carry. Okay, approval of the minutes. Let me put on my glasses here. Be it resolved to approve special public meeting minutes of council dated August 28, 2024, as circulated by our town clerk. I would ask the member of council we approve those minutes.
Moved.
Moved by Councillor Laura Aylward, second.
Second.
Second, Councillor Myra White, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Carried. I'd also like to recognize that we have 2 members of our council that's not with us today, and I don't believe they're joining us via Zoom. That would be
One
Deputy
may
Mayor.
join partway through the meeting.
She may attend.
Yes.
Okay, so Deputy Mayor Susan Fallow may be a little late joining our meeting, and also Councillor Darren Roberts, I believe, is out of town. Item number 2, 4.2, be it resolved to approve public meeting minutes of council dated August 22nd, 2024, as circulated by our town clerk. As a member of council to move.
So moved.
Moved by Councillor Myra White, second.
Second.
Second, Councillor Maurice Hines, all in favor?
Aye.
Contraband? Carried. Okay, are there any matters arising from those minutes, whether they're special or the public meeting? I see no matters addressed. We will move on. Okay, we have a very great honor to do a proclamation today in our town chambers. And we also have special guests, Chris and Dean Budd, in recognition of their son Connor. We often refer to Connor as Connor the Great because he was so influential in our community. He taught us a lot about courage, and we are very grateful. So what we're going to do now with Nadine and Chris, we're going to actually go through the proclamation, and thank you so much for being here in person with us for this. Yes, that's right.
Thank you, sir. May as well get the special treatment.
Yeah. So proclamation September 2024 for the month, Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. Whereas the month of September is recognized nationally as Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, whereas the most recent data shows that cancer remains the leading cause of non-accidental death in Canadian children. Whereas an estimate 2/3 of childhood cancer survivors experience at least one chronic or long-term side effect from their treatment. Whereas the awareness we create for childhood cancer will help fund further research to improve diagnosis and treatment in children and continue to decrease the death rate. Now, therefore, I, Mayor Tom Rose, on behalf of Council, the Stephenville Town Council, do hereby proclaim September 2024 as Childhood Cancer Awareness Month in the great town of Stephenville. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you so much.
Mayor Rose, if I might
Yes.
say something. When we were approached by Candlelighters, Newfoundland and Labrador, about the proclamation signing for today, they asked if we could find a local family to come in and do the signing with you. And of course, we immediately thought of Chris and Nadine, of course, Chris being part of our town family here, and everybody knows Connor. And we thought as an initiative, you know, of them coming in today, if staff or us as friends and family could do something as an initiative in Connor's memory, that it would be very appreciative of us to do if you guys were willing for us to do it. And through some jigs and reels, we came up with the thought of doing a pin in Connor's honor. So we actually have 2 pins that are being developed. One of which I have here today that has been developed, and nobody here has actually seen the pin yet. But it is Team Connor, number 32, his number. And I'll pass it around for everyone here to look at. And of course, we would like to present you guys with the first one. And part of the, you'll notice on the pin is actually Connor's goalie mask. It is a picture of Connor's actual goalie mask. So I don't know if probably I will have this up for people to look at. There are 2 different designs. This one is coming.
Really nice.
And that will also say Team Connor, number 32. And this is the pin that we have. And our thoughts were that the pins would be sold. A couple of local businesses have told us that they are willing to sell them in their business. That being Arlen's and Debbie's Video. And so they're not available yet, but we will make it known when they are available. And there's also an email address that's set up, teamconnorpin@gmail.com. And there will be a poster that we've designed that will get posted as well as part of this initiative. And all of the proceeds from the sale of the pin would go to a charity of your choice. So I hope you guys are okay that we did that initiative and took it upon ourselves to do it. And of course, you know, as it's mentioned, you are part of our town family.
So Marilee, I just want to say on behalf of the council and the Candlelighters and our team that put this together, we want to thank everybody. But I guess with honor, I'm going to pass over the first pin with your permission. Just
You can get my way.
here we go, the very first one. Thank you so much.
It's very, and thank you, everybody for approving that. Because anything to do with Connor, I'm okay with.
And we are too.
And I have to say, just so the public are aware, we did kind of have to bring Dad in on what we planned to make sure that it would be okay. So Mom is just hearing about this today. We did inform her before the meeting, just so she had a little bit of time to prepare for it.
It's nice having intel within the.
Yeah. But I know, Chris, I think you just wanted to maybe announce the charity that would be receiving the proceeds and.
Well, for us, Bay St. George Sick Children's Foundation would be definitely one of the main ones that would receive any benefits from the sales of the pins. Because, like I said, it's just tremendous how much work and service and support that they provide to a family. It doesn't have to be as tragic as our families, could be something minor. But the thing is, the Bay St. George St. Joseph's Foundation have always been there for this community. The sad thing is, when we spent time in St. John's with our families, with Connor, when he was going through his treatment, we found out very quickly that not all communities have a foundation like this in there. And, some people struggled while being out in St. John's with their families. All ups to Ron Dollhouse for making it livable for people that weren't away, that lived away. They had to go to St. John's for St. Joseph's at the hospital Janeway. But with a foundation like Bay St. George St. Joseph's Foundation, there was no worries that we had to think of while we were there.
So they're very helpful as well, not only just helping you financially, but they're helpful just emotionally as well. They're very caring, and they took care of so much for us. Things that I couldn't even fathom to try to think about. They took care of it or made sure it was taken care of. And unbelievably so, there are many families in Stephenville as well as the surrounding areas that utilize Bay St. George, the kids. So, anything that goes towards or goes to Bay St. George, it helps so many families. And you never know when it can happen. You never know when it can happen to a family member or a cousin, a friend, anything. That day that we were told that news, that was the most devastating thing ever, besides his passing. And the fact that people were there to help us through it and get us through it. It did everything for us. I can't even, I wish I could give more and do more for Bay St. George and everybody that's helped us. But if this helps in some way, this is what I'd like to do, yeah.
So there will be 500 of each design available. And as I mentioned, we've had some great support from the business community, and I'm sure from the community in general. That we look forward to getting this launched.
That's right. For me, I just want to take this time. We've been on this journey May of 2021, and Connor has passed almost a year now, so we're still kind of on the journey. But I just want to say
Thank you to the town.
not just the town, but as an employer,
Yes,
for me,
that's what I mean. Yeah.
how much the town has been there for us. So
You guys have been amazing and supported us all the way through the worst times, the darkest times, and even now. So thank you guys so much. It means so much. I can't go into a whole lot. I could say so much, but I can't even think of it right now.
Really appreciate it.
We've been there, we're always gonna be, and we're still there. So whatever we can do.
it just means a lot to us, like, to go be with Connor and, we were in St. John's and not have to worry about anything. Like, we met people and, maybe Dad couldn't be there in St. John's, but Mom was, because Dad had to still work.
Yeah.
But I didn't have to worry about that. It was nothing like that. Town of Stephenville, there was council, management, my coworkers, they were all there for us. And so we could leave at any time to be with Connor. And you don't know how much we appreciate it. And it's not only that fact, but even workers at Public Works, anybody that worked in the town, whatnot, they were all there for us. So in some capacity, one way or another. And it was hard for us to talk about it, but I couldn't leave this meeting today without saying how much we appreciate all the support.
I had to go out once without Chris, and he ended up coming out so many days later, which was a surprise to me. And I mean, you do what you gotta do as a parent, you do what you have to do. But because of all the support, we were able to be together for 99% of it. And that one time that I was alone, with Connor getting chemo, I didn't realize how much of a drain and how, exhausting and stressful it was until he walked through those hospital doors. And I just.
And again, like, it was a coworker, Andrew Pilgrim. Drove me that day, that morning, out to, and then came back the next day. So support like that was, yeah.
Not everybody is that fortunate. I met a lot of moms had to do it alone because the dads had to go away and work. So the fact that Chris and I could be there for each other, we had different duties and just the support alone mentally and for Connor. We had to leave our daughter many times, but she came out too, but having us together was huge. I can't even put it into words. The support that two of us gave each other for our son, and for him to see that we were there and a team is, and that's because you guys were able to do that for him.
And there's no doubt having both of you there help Connor on his journey. You know,
There's so many behind the scenes things that you don't even realize, and even now, but it's just amazing. My work was supportive as well, but I had to go off. I had to, I didn't have that option. Wasn't possible, but of course it was. And that's all because of the town and the employees and the firefighters and everybody.
So thank you guys very much. I know this is not our usual proclamation signing today, but we thought that today would be a great day to launch it. And we really appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Coming in
We thank so much that you guys thought of us to have us here for this. Thank you.
and it's a special honor for Team Connor. So
Yes, for
thanks
sure.
so much.
Thank you so much again. Yes.
I had the pleasure of meeting Connor,
Yes.
one-on-one,
Yeah.
not too many, one-on-one, and we talked and we joked.
Yes.
Anyway, I went to visit him, give him his Halloween tree,
That's right, yes.
so I'm so glad to be able to do it. Oh, thank you for your coming and all that stuff, and
Appreciate it. This
Yeah.
is, if this is the, even a little bit of helping pay,
yeah.
what
Yeah.
the town's done for us.
Well,
You're on board.
your coworkers and everybody, and you're all valued employees of the town, so thank you for your service too. Did I ever give?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I thought I did. I'll give you one today and on another day.
Shave my.
Thanks for coming. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Take care now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll continue. That was a great proclamation signing. Team Connor will be honored in memory of this proclamation as we move forward. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to our Chair of Finance for the Finance Committee, item number 7, Councilor Myra White.
Finance Committee met on September the 9th, 2024, and the following items were recommended for council approval. 7.1 Accounts payable. Be it resolved to pay accounts payable dated September the 12th, 2024, in the amount of $196,582.65. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Myra White, second.
Second?
Second, Councilor Lauren Elder, question?
Mayor, just so people get an idea of where all that money goes to.
And this report for Abby Doss, which is our maintenance or our wastewater system, 22,263.48. Just reading the big ones. The train supply, your reoccurring one, that's where we get our piping valves and that's like the stuff, public works to keep our water system that's moving, 14,953. The daily payment, $7,000, that's material to fix potholes. The architectural service for 761, that's architectural engineering service, basically for the project for the YMCA building. In that regard, there's the general marketing limit, that's our gas and fuel. For August, 10,386.19. UAP, 7,041.05. That's parts that the public branch would use to keep our vehicles going. Western Hydraulic, again, that would be parts for vehicles, 5,078. Western Paving, 12,819.63. That's paving some of the fix some of the potholes around town. And then we got $65,200.28 for the Western Regional Waste Management. That's what we have to pay to drop off the garbage that we pick up by people's doors. So that's just a big one, so you give an idea of where $196,000 is going.
Yeah, the Western Regional Waste Management, that was in 2 invoices for 2 months.
Yep.
Two separate.
Thanks for.
That's why it's so high.
Council Lee. So all in favor?
I,
Carried.
Item 7.2, expense checks. Be it resolved to approve expense checks for August 2024 in the amount of $423,399.09. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Myra White, seconder. Second, Councilor Laura Aylward on question.
Again, Mr. Mayor, just so people get an idea, we're $423,000. It was 86,173.65. We received from General Canada, that's the income tax, CPP from employees. There's $5,338 for the Synergy luncheon, which we hosted at the Leafly. $25,000 for the beautification committee. That's part of the annual grant that we put into beautification. And it's $39,103.07. Again, that is engineering services and architectural services for the YMCA building project. Then there's $80,000 for the Regional Aquatic Center. Again, that's part of our operating grant that we give the Regional Aquatic Center on a yearly basis. There's another $52,247 for Receiver General. Another big one is $37,814.60, which is the special payments to our pension fund to keep it solvent. And Newfoundland Light and Power for July is $29,660. So again, that just gives people an idea where $423,000 is.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Councilor O'Brien. All in favor? Carried.
Item number 7.
Excuse me, Councillor Waite. I am the councillor representative on the foundation, so therefore I'm not in conflict. I just represent the council as a member. The foundation is a member of council.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
if you're a council rep, no conflict.
Okay.
It's a request for a donation for the Sir Thomas Roddick Hospital Foundation. Be it resolved that the town of Stephenville contribute $1,000 to the Sir Thomas Roddick Hospital Foundation Annual Radiothon. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Myra White, seconder. Second, Councilor Maurice Hines. All in favor?
Aye. Item 7.4, approval to submit Canada Community Building Fund application. Be it resolved to submit the capital investment plan to the Department of Municipal and Provincial Affairs for Canada Community Building Funds in the amount of $250,494.20 for street paving on Georgia Drive to the intersection of Pennsylvania Drive. I so move.
Second.
Just a little clarity on that one. It is a section of Georgia, but it's from Montana to Pennsylvania. Just for clarity. It's not right from Carolina. It's only a section.
Okay.
Okay, so clarity on that. We have a motion seconder.
Yeah.
Second, Councilor Laura Elbert, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Carried.
Item 7.5, approval to submit Canada Community Building Fund application. Be it resolved to submit the capital investment plan to the Department of Municipal and Provincial Affairs for Canada Community Building Funds in the amount of $161,033.65 for street paving from the intersection of Main/Queen Street to the intersection of Waits Avenue. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Myra White, seconder. Second, Councilor Maurice Hines, all in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Is there anything late on finance?
No, there is not.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Councilor Myra White of Finance. Item number 8, now I'll turn it over to our Chair of Planning and Traffic, Councilor Laura Hilbert.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Number 8, Planning and Traffic Committee. The Planning and Traffic Committee met on September 9th, 2024. And the following items were recommended for council approval. Number 1 is 52 Main Street, outline planning permission. Be it resolved to approve outline planning permission to operate existing business as existing non-conforming with parking permitted at location 28 Main Street pursuant to Town of Stephenville Development Regulation 11, Section 3, Schedule D, off-street parking requirements. I believe that's the new subway building, Matt?
No. Business, that's actually.
All right.
For the bar.
Oh, that's for the bar. Right. That's for the new owners that's taken over the bar. For information for the people of the town, Stephenville. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Laura Hilbert, seconder. Second, Councilor Tom O'Brien, all in favor?
Aye.
No.
No, all in favor?
Aye.
Carried.
Item 2, 149-159 Main Street, outline planning permission. Be it resolved to approve outline planning permission to consolidate 2 parcels of land, 149 and 159 Main Street, 161 to 163 Main Street, as per Town of Stephenville Development Regulations. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Laura Elbert, seconder.
Second.
Second, Councilor Myra White, all in favor?
Aye.
Carried.
Number 3, issue request for proposal, 147 Caroline Avenue. Be it resolved to issue a request for proposal for the sale of development of 0.51 acres of land at 147 Carolina Avenue. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Laura Elbert, seconder. Second, Councilor Tom O'Brien, all in favor?
Aye.
Carried.
Number 4, approval to enter into agreements with Quest Canada. Be it resolved that the Town of Stephenville participate in Quest Canada's Net Zero Community Accelerator program. Let's get over to this page here. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Elbert, seconder.
A second, and we could have an explanation for the people who are listening. Wait, yeah.
Yeah, on this one, the West Canada has selected Stephenville to be one of the participants in this Net Zero Community Accelerator Program. It's a no cost to the town of Stephenville. And our town will now be a part of 15 towns throughout Canada that will participate in the setting of the net zero community initiatives in the development of building codes for the future on a net zero basis. Any of the costs associated with our participation are to be covered by the group And it's an exciting piece that we are very excited about. The planning and economic development part of the town have this one along with the one to follow, where Stephenville will be leading the initiatives for net zero buildings, as well as initiatives for community sustainability. So you can end this one and with some pleasure that neither of these will cost us anything other than the time of our people who are participating in these initiatives. So it's a tremendous opportunity, both of them.
I think everybody's glad to hear that there's no cost.
Yeah. Yeah, it was finance, just saying. Okay, all in favor? Carry.
Number 5, approval to enter into partnership agreement with ICLEI. Be it resolved that the town of Stephenville enter into a partnership agreement with ICLEI, Local Government for Sustainability for Building to Net Zero. What's that?
Over.
Cohort. I so move.
Moved by Council Lori Aylward, seconder.
Second.
Second, Council Myra White, all in favor?
Aye.
Carry. Okay.
That's it, not that I'm aware.
Okay, good. Okay, item number 9, we have no bylaws or regulations today, I understand. Okay, item number 10, unfinished business. Anybody got anything unfinished that they'd like to speak on? I got one. I thought it was appropriate that I would kind of restate a proclamation that we had October 26, 2023, last fall. So last fall, the annual general meeting of the Francophone Association took place in Stephenville. We were working since pre-COVID on our Acadian culture. And I just wanted to restate what that proclamation said, because we have some new counselors, new management team, and just to give an understanding of this file and where it's heading, and it's part of our, when we look at our murals, it's the Acadian center mural with our Acadian culture. Interesting, our Canadian culture, prior to the U.S. Air Force and the Corps of Engineers arriving here, many of the Acadian families on the base area where we're now at the town of Stephenville, they all had wind turbines on their farm properties that created electricity for their farmhouses. And that's in the archives of Memorial University. So I just wanted to restate this. In honor of the meeting, the town of Stephenville makes the following proclamation. This was done October 23rd. The town council of the town of Stephenville, recognizing its rich Acadian and French heritage and recognizing the 50th anniversary of the Federation of the Francophone de Terre-Neuve et du Labrador, declares its intention to make steps to incorporate elements into our town. These steps will include working with all levels of government to enhance access to French language training to our residents at all ages. And I've just recently seen where the College of North Atlantic is offering French language training again. They've done it in the past. It's so nice to see. To start the process of transitioning to bilingual street signs, that's ongoing with our economic development officer. It's so nice to see that moving forward. To work with the Federation de Francophone de Terre-Neuve et du Labrador to locate an acceptable space to host a Francophone school and cultural center and daycare. So that's something that our management team is working on. And to continue to work closely with the Federation de Francophone de Terre-Neuve on projects of mutual interest. So I just wanted to restate that because sometimes we have files that are moving, and it's just nice to keep the community aware of these files and how important they are. Okay, item number 11, anything under new business?
I don't know if it's new business or unfinished business, but back a number of meetings back, I brought up some of the mapping which is in our road plan that Upland's done for it, and the mapping shows a whole lot more land owned by the airport than what the airport actually owns, and we were going to look for corrections to it.
Yeah.
I haven't received.
No, we've, just to report, our GIS coordinator has looked at the mapping that's in the report, which of course, even though mapping associated with the airport may indicate that it's lands as a part of the airport, there's a very clear delineation between lands owned by the town and lands owned by the airport that were part of the agreement. And so Mark has worked on that to a point of taking any pieces of the land that were carved out at different times over the course of, like I know the Flying Club is one that was mentioned, Part for Waste Management is another that was mentioned. And just ensuring that those were properly done by the legal counsel for when the agreement was drawn up. Now, our law firm that we use for matters like that in Stuart McKelvey, I made contact with them last week as a follow-up to go over a couple of things, including that particular issue, to make sure that there's an appropriate matching. And we were not party to the sale of the airport, and therefore we were an advised party and we were consulted, but we were not a part of that agreement. So what we sought is the legal representative who handled it for the Stephenville Airport Corporation, just to ensure that our records match the records that they are. And if there are any errors and omissions, those will be, there will be a request to correct any issues. But in my understanding right now, there are no definite issues. It's just a matter of making sure that our records properly match what's in the registry of deeds and that sort of thing. So we are acting on it, and that and other matters associated.
I mean, I would estimate 250 acres or more out on the ramp area, which is included with the Stephenville Airport on this mapping. It basically leads people down the wrong path if you're looking at the map, and that would lead into rural energy and all discussion about laydown area and that type of thing. I would think at this point in time, with some of the uncertainty that's been raised around the airport in recent weeks, the rural energy would have some concerns regarding laydown area. So has anybody reached out to rural energy to let them know what land we have available?
Well, I believe our management team have met with World Energy and clearly defined that from where the racetrack was, that fence line, to the airport's fence line is clearly the town of Stephenville's property. We hold the deed through transition from Newfoundland Labrador Housing to get the release of mortgage, but it's clearly they know that we own that, and that would encompass, like you just said, well, 100, 200 acres.
And there's that one piece, and also other pieces which are held in trust through Newfoundland Labrador Housing on the project site. And those are the subject of very thorough discussion between our manager of planning and development and World Energy. And we've also had numerous meetings with Newfoundland Labrador Housing on means by which we can expedite matters related to that, but also on exploring safeguards, so to speak, on protecting the town's interest in those discussions as well.
Just for clarity too, there is inside the airport's fence property, there's a couple of pieces of land that the town, we own 13 hectares on the button of runway 09 by our Abbey Dosper land system for expansion. So we own 13 hectares there, but we also own a half acre of land down where one of the old hangars were, where we were looking at building a new fire hall. There's a 100 by 200 foot footprint that we own inside the fence, which is adjacent to where the fire hall is. So we do own two pieces of property inside the fence.
Yeah, because we purchased the extra land from the airport back a number of years ago, because we set
as a part of the ongoing funding.
Yeah, I mean, because we saw at some point our waste and water system was going to have to be expanded, so.
Yeah.
Yep,
It was a good move.
okay, just got to get some of the mapping corrected.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Councilor O'Brien. I just wanted to mention, both myself and, our CAO and, Councilor Maurice Hines, and Mayor Lee, we were at the 9/11 commemoration along with Councilor Myra White. Thanks for that.
He was good.
there. And, up between the Legion, our first responders, the parish, St. Stephen's Parish and the Knights of Columbus, we had a wonderful event last evening. And we actually had recognized last night our Stephenville Ground Search and Rescue along with Bearsville Search and Rescue. And sometimes it's things you learn that Bearsville probably has one of the smallest brigades when it comes to ground search and rescue, but their area of coverage is the biggest in the province. They go right from Isle of Mort right to Pinchgut.
Really?
And when you really think about it, Cornwall at least should at least come as far as Delan's. That would make geographical sense. But you'd almost think a town like Port-aux-Basques is robust as it is. They should have their own ground search and rescue established, because Bearsville Brook to Isle of Mort or Burnt Islands is a long haul, especially if you got wreck house winds.
Yeah.
Right?
At least 2.5 hours.
And you're on the end of it and not necessarily in the center, so that's something that we hope that can develop, voluntarily, like I say, from more in the center of the area.
And maybe that's something that we could show in our leadership in supporting our local Stephenville Ground Search and Rescue. We could meet with the town council in Port-aux-Basques and help them. And, because you get started in small steps, baby steps, and you could grow it. So anything else before I call for adjournment?
No, we have,
Speak on
New
something,
business?
Councilor. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Statement.
There you
Was
go.
not done. Thank you. Okay, I'll turn this over to Councilor Maurice Hines, who's gonna read a statement based on recommendation from FCM, our federal partner, on how local officials management handles harassment that is actually brought forward to council and management. So I'll turn over the floor to you, Councilor
Okay,
Hines.
thank you, Mr. Mayor. And before I read the statement, recent events, and probably not so recent, has really had the council rethink a number of things. And we're going back to the Canadian Federation of Municipalities and some of their resolutions, and I'm going to share that with you. This statement's from the town of Stephenville on harassment of elected officials and staff. The following resolution was passed at the Federation of Canadian Municipalities at their annual general meeting regarding the harassment of elected local government officials. The Federation of Canadian Municipalities, from here we'll call FCM, calls on the federal government to work with provinces, territories, and local governments through the FCM to identify and implement measures to protect elected officials, their family members, and staff, especially women, members of the Black and racialized communities, the 2S LGBTQ2I, A+ individuals, persons with disabilities, Indigenous people from harassment, intimidation, and threats, thereby reinforcing a unified front to safeguard democracy. The town of Stephenville stands firmly with the call to action, and we echo FCM's message to emphasize that harassment of any kind towards our elected officials and staff is unacceptable. These harmful actions do not just affect individuals, they erode the foundations of democracy and a sense of community that we hold dear. The town of Stephenville firmly denounces any form of harassment directed toward each and every one of our elected officials and staff. Over the past several months, social media has been a significant driver of negative commentary, and this has led to a profound impact, not only on our workplace, but also on the personal lives of those who serve this community. This behavior constitutes a form of bullying, and in many cases, these actions constitute defamation. Defamation of character occurs when someone makes a false statement about another that harms their reputation. It takes two forms. Written defamation, such as false statements published in articles, social media posts, emails, and other forms of writing. Spoken defamation, which includes false statements made verbally, often in person or through broadcast like television and radio. Defamation is a criminal offense. We wish to make it known to the public that the town of Stephenville cannot and will not support or tolerate this type of treatment. Each and every one of our staff members are selfless, hardworking individuals who dedicate themselves to the well-being of our town. Many of these employees have devoted their entire careers to serving their community and take immense pride in their work. They work with the best interests of Stephenville in mind, often going above and beyond to ensure our town thrives. Beyond their roles, our employees are people, individuals with families, feelings, and personal lives. They deserve to enjoy fulfilling lives outside of work, surrounded by respect and positivity. It is disheartening to see that kindness and empathy are becoming scarce in our community. We must remember that every member of our town, including those who serve it, deserve respect and compassion. Let us not forget the true meaning of community and the importance of treating one another with dignity and understanding. We call upon every member of our community to take a stand against negativity and actively support the town of Stephenville. In putting an end to this harmful behavior, let us come together, not just to reject harmful actions and comments, but to embrace kindness, empathy, and collaboration. By working together, we can create a stronger, more supportive environment where everyone's efforts are respected and the well-being of our town is prioritized. We have so much to look forward to in Stephenville's future, and now more than ever, we need the support of the entire community to make these great things happen. There has never been a more important time to come together to unite behind our shared goals to foster cultural respect and cooperation. By joining forces, we can achieve far more positive and meaningful results, ensuring that the true spirit of our town thrives. Let's lift each other up and work together to build a bright future that we all want to see for Stephenville. The next statement is going to correct some misinformation that was recently on some social media platforms. The town would like to address and correct some inaccuracies and misleading information circulating in the media. Here are a few examples of comments that give an unfair representation to the town's business. The town council has approved a water study required by the Water Resources Division of the government in Newfoundland and Labrador for future development that may affect town-owned, Crown-owned, private property, including Hillier Avenue area. This study will help the town make informed decisions about land development and zoning, ensuring proper use of water resources for industrial, commercial, and residential purposes. Regarding the paving of Main Street, the town clarifies that the project is not delayed due to funding issues. The project is approved and is currently awaiting tendering process from Municipal Affairs and further input from consulting engineers. We expect the project to be awarded this fall and construction planned to start early in the spring of 2025. The town has committed funds for our share of this cost-sharing project. The town also clarifies the borrowing of funds for new equipment purchases. Borrowing allows the town to spread out the cost over time, like construction, paving, and repairs, rather than paying for all of it up front. All purposes and projects are subject to approval by Municipal Affairs, ensuring the town's budget is used efficiently. The town of Stephenville remains fully committed to openness and transparency. We encourage any resident, I'm going to emphasize that, we encourage any resident with questions seeking clarification on town projects or purchases to reach out to us directly. This is not in here. We'll find out what's really happening, and that's important instead of rumors and gossip. All you can do is by calling, requesting in-person meeting with management, emailing, submitting comments through our feedback section of our website. We are dedicated to ensuring our residents are heard and will make every effort to respond promptly and efficiently as possible. For the people who are listening, I hope you take that to heart. Our town employees work hard, and I think they deserve our respect. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for that, Councilor Maurice Hines. I'd just like to also say that it's so great to see this declaration being made by the Stephenville Town Council. But I got to give some credit to our management team, Matt and Candace, who went to Calgary and got informed and educated on this file from a pan-Canadian perspective with the FCM. That gave us, I guess, the foundation about realizing what we need to do at our level. So it's federal, it's provincial, it's municipal, and we have a right to be respected. We are open and transparent. And I want to thank Candace and Matt for the work, along with Bill and our full management team. Hopefully that this will settle things down and people will take it to heart, because it's hurting the community when false comments are being made. And we don't want our community hurt. We want to strive, and we've never been at a better time. We're in growth potential. There's optimism. There's hope. We live in one of the greatest countries in the world. We are defined by our Charter of Rights and Freedoms and the veterans who protected our freedoms, current and past. So on that note, any comment from any councillors?
I'm just going to add to that. I'm an elected official. I decided to run, and I'm open to people say, I really dislike what you said. I really dislike how you voted. But I think our staff, who are diligent workers who simply implement the policies and procedures laid down by council to make it a better community, deserve better.
Mr. Mayor, I support fully what was read by Councillor Maurice Hines. But I will talk on the hospital issues. Simply, some people around think that you can just get a specialist, especially the specialized doctors, just like that. That's not the way it works. You have to go through the process. And having been around the healthcare for 30 odd years, I've seen many, and so Councillor O'Brien being on the board, he's seen many specialists and family doctors come and go over the years. And it was nothing to do with somebody did that or someone got them mad and they left or whatever. A lot of specialties that come to our hospital over the years, they come in for maybe 5 years and they do their Canadian qualifications and then they move on to a bigger center. We've been very fortunate in having doctors that have stayed right through till retirement. One of our anesthesiologists, Dr. Kurana, remember, he's passed on. He was with us from day one and stayed with us. So I say to people that I talk to, the recruitment people at Western Memorial are the ones that do the recruiting for us. Our committee, the West Coast Healthcare Action Committee, that was formed in 2003, trying to save our services. We've had a lot of successes, as Councillor O'Brien will attest to that. And I remember Dr. Ginge being on the board, the chair of the board one time, and we had a meeting in probably here, and a good meeting. And he said to me on the way out, he said, you know, he said, you've come a long way. He said, and we've come a long way with you, because he said, if it wasn't for your committee, we wouldn't be as successful as we are now. And we've gained a lot of successes by getting doctors to come out and use our operating rooms. And we got endoscopy suites here that they can come out and use. And I preached to them over the years that, why don't your physicians come out and use our ORs? They're in there, you know, looking for OR time. You just don't go in the OR and do surgery for a hip replacement or a knee replacement. You got to consult with all the people that are involved to get it done. And you just don't go say, well, you know, I want OR time next week at a certain time. That's all done in a process. So for people that think that you can take a magic wand and get doctors to come here, like our psychiatrist left when Dr. Varmick left, that was her husband, the surgeon, and then we lost 2 people. an anesthesiologist, and a psychiatrist. Now, I know there's been, they are recruiting for a surgeon, and we do have one now on the ground. I haven't met him yet, but also psychiatrists, they've been also doing that. I do know that Western Memorial, it took them almost 10 years to get ear, nose, and throat specialists. So you don't get doctors anywhere, it doesn't matter where, to come here unless you go through the process and they stay. If they stay long, you know, if they come and like we have one of our internists here that's been here since 2005. So another one stayed 2013. So he left here a couple of years ago. He was here about 11 years. So, you know, they stay and some don't stay. So there's a lot of things. I could be here all day talking about the reasons why. But all I want to say to the people out there is that as a committee of the Healthcare Action Committee, as chair, we're always doing something behind the scenes. We're always in touch with the powers that be, the management at Western Health. We're always in touch with these people, and even with the Minister of Health sometimes. So I want to let them know that we are doing something. And so is the recruitment committee, and the town council as a whole as well have been supporting our committee in that role. And we meet regularly with the management from Western Memorial. I want to let the people out there know that, right?
To emphasize how well it has worked, and I have evidence to prove. From your action committee to the hospital foundation to council, especially our aggressive recruitment and retention packaging that we put in coming out of COVID. Remember, there was a healthcare crisis and we made the move. But you can go right across this province, right across this country. And there's been emergency rooms that have had to shut down because they had no staff. That has not happened in Stephenville. We have never been shut down. So that's a testimonial on the supports of this community, of the healthcare professionals that we have. And it's so nice to see now we do have a modern hospital, but now we're getting a modern clinic, medical clinic, a full wraparound service. That will be a catalyst to help support our Sir Thomas Roddick Emergency Hospital. So we are making significant gains, but the testimonial is we're not like other communities that have had to shut down their emergency department. So credit to council, credit to yourself, your committees, and to all the staff of Sir Thomas Roddick.
And our radiothon, by the way, is coming up
Yes.
on the 26th. We will be on the air from 2 to 6. And Port of Basque will be on the air 9 to 1. And it's going to be held at the hospital this year. So anybody wanting to make a donation can come out in the morning as well as the afternoon, but their names will be read in the afternoon from 2 to 6.
Okay, we want to thank you for that. If there's anything else before I call for adjournment?
I'd like to say one little comment. We as parents, leaderships, being members of groups, we have to provide leadership for our children that are coming behind. I think the fact that we have to ask people to tone down what they're saying about people and making people feel bad. You also have to realize that your children are watching. And I think that you have to be the leader and the example for your children, because I don't think you would want that to happen to your children when they get at the age or being involved with things and to be kind of tore down, right? So I think that people should really think about what they're doing.
Well, Bob Dylan said it right. Teach your children well.
Yeah.
Right.
On that note, can we get a motion by Councillor Tom O'Brien? Councillor Maurice Hines, seconder, all in favor?
Aye.
Bye.
Meeting adjourned at 1:05. We want to thank Mr. Frank Russell